Jeffrey Epstein is not dead. He might be playing dead, but he is not dead. And for somebody who hung himself, where's the post-ligature marks? Where's the marks at on his neck? Shouldn't it be purple and black? Well, my girl Lauren is a mortician, and she has some things to say about this photo. Go ahead, Lauren.
Why this photo does not show a deceased body. Not opinion, not conspiracy, anatomy, physiology, and what the body actually does after death. So let me show you exactly how I can tell just by looking at this image that the person, aka Jeffrey Epstein, in this photo is very much alive in this moment, which actually makes the photo weirder to me. Pull the photo up again. When I saw this, the very first thing I noticed wasn't the weird looking table he's lying on. It wasn't his body positioning. It was actually the mouth area. When someone dies, every muscle in their body relaxes. All of it, including your jaw. And when the jaw relaxes and someone is lying on their back, gravity takes over and the mouth opens. Not dramatically, just naturally. So naturally, in fact, that at the funeral home, we don't just hope the mouth stays closed. We actually have to physically close it. That's anatomy. There are techniques for it because without intervention, it will not stay shut. Flat on his back with his mouth naturally closed. No tape, no visual support, no tension. Muscle tone is still there. And muscle tone does not exist in a deceased individual. And this is one of those little details. I know it's little, but it's a big detail. Reality is the body doing exactly what physics tells it to do. So right out the gate, before I even look at anything else, that closed mouth tells me I am not looking at a deceased person. Because the mouth isn't the only part of the body that gives this away. The eyes are next. After death, dehydration starts almost immediately. It does not wait. It does not care. The eyes are one of the first places that you can actually see it. The surface of the eyeball starts to dry out. The corneas lose that wet, reflective look. The eyes flatten and they dull. Dehydration is not my friend in the funeral home. It's one of the very first things we are constantly fighting. In this photo, though, the eyes are still moist. Are those tears? Are his eyes leaking? I don't know, but they definitely look full and hydrated and puffy in a way that suggests fluid is still being regulated in the body. Move on to skin color. When the heart stops, circulation stops, and the blood is no longer being pushed throughout the body. Gravity takes over. Blood settles into the lowest parts of your body, and we call that lividity. So if someone is lying flat on their back, I expect to see that settling, that purpley-ish color start showing up in very specific places. The back of the head, the neck, maybe even the ears, face, shoulders. Face is evenly colored. You can even see pink in certain areas of the face, which there is still color in his face, pinkness, and that color matters because deceased bodies don't hold facial color like that as there is moisture under the nose and they think that it's purge coming out of the nose. This looks like purge, they say, but it doesn't. True post-mortem purge is heavier, can be darker, and purge follows gravity. Moisture around the nose is incredibly common in living or recently treated patients. Oxygen, secretions, positioning. But when you stack it with everything else, Jeffrey Epstein's mouth, the eyes, the color of his face, it fits the same picture. This photo of Jeffrey Epstein is not behaving like a dead body. He's
Great video. Love my girl Lauren, the mortician. Check out her YouTube. But she also asked another great question, series of questions.
Where are the images that actually matter? Is anyone wondering that? Because we've seen famous autopsy photos before. Michael Jackson, Kurt Cobain, JFK. So why not this case? Why not this one? We didn't get autopsy photos of Jeffrey Epstein. We didn't get clear crime scene images. We got a written report being asked to accept a conclusion without the same level of visual documentation we've seen in other cases. And don't just hand me this weird photo instead. That's not transparency. Nothing about this is transparent. It actually leads to more confusion.
Thank you, Lauren. And before we go, let's look at some of her lovely commenters real quick. Because this woman even says, I wasn't an ER nurse for 30 years, very familiar with death. This includes death by hanging. This is not the face of a body that is found hanging and cut down. Then we have a lady that was thinking the same thing I was thinking. It might be a staged death, a new identity, a different island. When you have access, money, and powerful connections, anything's possible, right? Right. And it's not this photo alone that raises so many questions. It's the fact that there was that 4chan post that got linked back to a lieutenant at the MCC at the time who has said that he was wheeled out of his cell in a medical wheelchair, shackled and placed into an unmarked transport van. The post suggested the sequence of events confused guards and implied Epstein was removed before the official death announcement. Then we really need to use our noodle and put our thinking caps on, because this man is plugged. He's powerful. He eluded FBI and the police and these repercussions for years. Well, you know what they do. They let people hang themselves. Oops, I didn't mean it like that. But they will let people get away with crimes for years in order to get as much as they can to keep them in jail, so to speak. Right? This man is and who he's plugged to, and he's been around the Rockefellers. He's been around billionaires. He has friends in high places. And I'm sure that there's even more things that we haven't even seen yet, right? But why we need to put our thinking caps on is because who he is, he could have paid some of them people in the jail to wait until the time when the security tapes have that little 1 minute and some change space, and that's enough time to get someone in a wheelchair and wheel them into an unmarked van and get them out of there before the security footage can clock back on. I'm just saying. And before the people that say no, look at everything that we've been through and all the lies that we've been told. It could happen. Don't ever tell nobody that's far-fetched, because we're seeing that there's nothing that's so far-fetched.